More Banner Saga. I was kind of thinking about how to describe how broken Alette is in the later games and why I'm really trying to play more fairly this time than I might have in the past. And I think one way to say it, and kind of the classic way to say it for this kind of game, is I think Alette is just significantly more powerful than FF Tactics or Landu. The core setup is basically we've now seen the archer trap that cancels enemy turns, but she can do something in such a way that it cancels like every enemy turn remotely near her. It's absolutely nuts. It's sort of like if a but it does damage too. It's like if Orlandu was combined with Olan's Galaxy Stop in FF Tactics. It's so nuts. It's so unfair, and we will not be doing it. With the village still a day away, you're eating on the march. A Varl approaches. We had words earlier, says Gris. You recall him claiming that he didn't care for your command. You were right in what you did. Let me join your guard and fight at your side. Pride hangs on his posture and sincerity in his eyes. Got the pride, got the posture, got the sincerity. I was combining posture and sincerity. That did not make a word. You've got one shot. You tell him to report to Mauger. I don't sit in the back lines. Make a mistake and you get your head caved in. Nobody will lose sleep over it. He nods and goes to speak with Mauger. This means we have a new character to check out. As I recall, and this is one of those, like, you pick a different option, you don't have a character. Sometimes it's bad to get new characters for reasons we hopefully won't familiarize ourselves with too much. But I think Gris has pretty decent stats. Like, we've talked about Bercy, like a 9-12 is not great. 7-15, Gunnulf we've seen does have his uses, but is not great. Mauger came as a 14-10, I really liked that. What's Gris? Gris is a 12-12. So Hakan came as a 9-14, if I remember right. And Gunnulf a 7-15. 12-12 is a higher average than either of those. It's on par with Mauger for the main two stats. He also comes with 2 break, 2 exert. This is a pretty good stat line. However, he maxes at 15-15. So he maxes at 30 for the core 2 stats. Gunnulf also maxes at 30. We can argue, is 12-18 or 15-15 a better distribution? I tend to lean armor. Mauger has 32 in those 2 stats, and he has 4 break, which is pretty great. Luden's not a Varl, doesn't directly compare. Hakan maxes at 30 as well, but has the 12-18 split. Bercy has 12-16. Bercy's just not good. Why did Ursa show up again? Eirik's not us. Wait. It's just rotating through the 6 in battle. So then if we compare to Gris, has a max of 30. That's on par with Hakan and Gunnulf. But has an even distribution, which is probably pretty good. Has 4 potential break. That's pretty good. Gris is good. I'm going to replace Bercy with Gris. I don't really care about Eirik, so I don't need to bring him in. So I think this is our current kind of party. Last episode we did 2 wars. So we had 2 quite difficult fights because they were multi-stage fights. The game does now have the option to throw multi-stage fights at us, though I think usually won't. I think, at least in this game, those will basically be just in wars. We have great morale. We have 59 supplies. So I'm going to camp as soon as I can. Nope, too late. You're close enough to hear dredge rattling through the buildings below. Pull them out of the houses, Mauger suggests. Slag just can't resist an ambush. We'll have better luck in an open field. I like fighting things. I like fighting in this game. You send your shield bangers forward to get their attention. Before long, the dredge have gathered, ready for a fight. Do we have another war? 3rd war? Oh my god. 4 of them. Again, we've got numbers. We're going to charge, and we're going to rush into battle. 3 wars so quickly. This is very much the war chapter of the game. But we have a new party member in Gris who's not injured. Now, Hakan will have -3 strength, but a 12-14 is still a good unit. A 12-14 is still pretty good. Luden will be an 8-8. That's not great, but I still would rather have him than Eirik, and I don't want the extra Varl. I liked starting with Gunnulf first. I think that worked well. And then Mauger with his huge armor and then characters that could do damage without needing to have shields broken, and then some solid hitters at the end. Yeah, this looks reasonable to me. And, you know, Bercy's a 9-12, Gris is a 12-12. Bercy has 1 break, 1 exertion. Gris has 2 of each. I should go over the stats again, they might be hard to follow. But I think we've seen how armor and power or health, strength work really well and frequently. Will is how many points of will you enter a battle with that you can spend extra on turns. Exertion is how much extra will you can spend doing things. So if you have points there, you can use it to move extra, but you can also use it. 3 big enemies. So I think we're going to really want... we can check their stats. 16-11. Gunnulf can't break that with his 15. So Gunnulf is really... If we're going to have him hit something hard, maybe just this guy. And maybe that will be far enough away that nothing can hit us. Because we're going to need some break damage on these before we do anything else. So I'm going to set up pretty far back with Maugre as our furthest forward. Sadly, Luden doesn't have range to go through Gunnulf to hit this, but we wouldn't be trying to kill it anyway. And maybe... Let's just be pretty far back. I was thinking get Bercy a little farther forward, or sorry, Gris a little farther forward as a target. He's the character I'd be happiest to have lose. But I think I'm trying to get units a little closer to the battle, but I don't want the humans to get hit. I don't think they will be hit here. They will be in Gris's way, so maybe I just have them further out of the way, but they're going to get a turn before Gris. Alright, Gris way out of the way. Other units will have stuff first. We're going to try to hit this guy and then have enemies come to us. So we start with Gunnulf. Nope, I do not want to move there. Thought I'd put myself next to him, but I guess there wasn't an option. And we can't use Will because, of course, as we know, Gunnulf has no exert. What a curious character. Alright, that's probably 2 shield damage. Just 1 shield damage, that's fine. Alright, can anything reach us? No. No, that's great. No. Alright, so we're going to wait here. Resting won't get us any will because we're starting at max will, but that's okay. Can we get close enough to do anything? No. I'm going to get a little out of the way, though. Try to create lanes for the Varl to move forward. Now, I would love, to hit this guy for 2 strength damage, and we can. So I'm going to go here. No, I'm going to use this Varl as a shield. And we're going to slag and burn you. Maybe put it here. That's maybe a square they'll walk over. I'm unlikely to if we set any fire there. But just get this guy a little lower on power so it's not a threat. And that almost certainly will walk over the fire to get to us. Right, Hakan can hit something. Now, he has 14 power. He only has 14 because he was injured. His 12 shield is enough that their 11 isn't that scary. When's this guy's next turn? Pretty far away. So we could hit this. But I think... How far can you move? Alright, basically 1 further. So if I just back up, it can't reach me, and I'll hit it next turn. And you... Oh, it is going to reach me. Okay, so that's a bummer. Maybe I'll move Gris forward, hope he hits Gris instead. I'm going to move 1 extra square, just try to induce him to hit Gris. Gris is battering ram. That's a decent move for doing some shield damage. Alright. Now, I wish we'd done some armor on this guy. We haven't. But I think this will block their path better than other moves. And we just gotta hit it for the 1 armor. It'll do some damage. Should have done some to the other. I'm not sure why it didn't. Okay. Maugre takes armor damage. That's fine. And we will lower the shield on this guy. We'll bring the pain. I think I'll upgrade it just to really weaken their shield. That has to walk through coals to get to much, so that's okay. That does a bunch of shield to Maugre. Maugre might not last that well here. I wish we had Gunnulf's turn next, because he could walk here and Tempest. But we've done decent damage to them. I think I'm going to impale this guy. Kicking him back across the coals, I think will hurt him again. So I think this will do 1, and then boot him back. That will do 2 more, yeah. And he'll take more damage when he moves. So that's excellent. Now, I'd like to hit... I think we'll slag and burn hitting this spot to hit these 2 units. Yeah, that seems useful. And this guy, another move hitting us. He's doing a lot of damage to his own dude. But Maugre's shield's going to be down. This might be the first fight where Maugre gets in serious trouble. I don't really want to kill this low power unit. That sucks. Gunnulf losing. This might be the first war that we back out of. Battering Ram pushes it 4 spots. If it goes through something, it takes damage. I think we probably just want to start breaking it. Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. Just get some break-in on it. It's at 11 power. I didn't think this guy could get to Gunnulf, but I counted wrong. And Gunnulf is, yeah. Alright, we're going to Tempest. That's what Gunnulf has. It's also the only way to use Gunnulf's Will, because he has no Exert. And that does do extra damage to nearby stuff. Okay, that's something. Maugre. Alright, well you can shield break this guy a bit more. Gris is actually one of our units in the best shape. This guy we weakened a bunch and died from fire. Alright. Let's impale you. Impale, really nice way to get damage through armor. And that guy was sitting on a coal, so we did some damage to him. Ludin's getting in trouble. Okay. I think once again... Alright, I gotta move forward 1. We're just gonna be throwing out Slag and Burns. It's just such a nice way to get a little guaranteed damage. So I feel pretty good about throwing it out. Forgot about you, that you were still high. Alright, but this is good because Hakan is our heaviest hitter, and he can now hit back. And I think I will use Sundering Impact to a little shield damage as well. And that does pretty huge damage to him. This guy take like 4 impale damage there. Alright, he broke Ludin's shield a bit, but that's not the end of the world. Gris is in really good shape. Can't reach an enemy, so I'm just going to rest. Get up to 2. Gunnulf. This was the first war where I didn't protect Gunnulf very well. Alright. I think we'll Tempest such that we only kill 1. Not really looking to get kills on you. But something with 7 power is not a threat. Khan still has decent power. It is not in amazing shape. Okay, I'm going to step Maugre here to make a little more space for Gris to come in. And then finish off this one. They're not in great shape. So this guy's the biggest threat. So we're going to impale him. Seems like the most useful thing to do. Yeah, killed himself. Okay, and you can finish off. Can't finish off. I'll use a will. It's fine to use a will. Point here. And that will send us into pillage mode. And we're going to take this opportunity to rest up on just about everyone. Who do I want to get the killing blow? Not sure, but we'll give you the full heal up. Can Gunnulf even kill? No. Alright, let's give it to Maugre. I gave him another will point back. Oh, that doesn't actually kill. Oh well. Luden or Yrsa? Let's give it to Yrsa. And I think at this point, actually, we can try to continue the war. Yeah, let's keep going. We're going to kill a few more as they flee. Hopefully we don't get too many. Okay. And I kept my units pretty close together. 19, 11, 10, 15, 9, 10. Scary. What can reach me? I think only the unit that moved can. Alright, that is threatening to hit Gunnulf or Luden. Oh, there's one over here too. Well, I can't reach that. So I'm going to move up this way. And this guy's probably going to kill someone. I hope he goes for Gunnulf. Yeah. That's actually... no, that's not great, but... Would have been better if he'd taken Gunnulf out, because now Gunnulf will waste a turn for me, much as we keep their units low to waste turns for them. I think getting this thing down to 5 is pretty valuable. So happy to spend will there. I want to make sure this guy doesn't hit me hard, so I'm going to block his path. And I think Tempest is guaranteed 1 damage. Well, if I attacked, I could just lower break 1. I think I want to get... I think weirdly I'm going to go for health first, just to try to get it to a point where it's not that big a threat to my units. So Gunnulf down. That's okay. But now Maugre, who to go for? Maybe the 9-10. Ah, this is such a bigger threat. But the 9-10, I think he... Yeah, I'm going to go the 9-10. This is a slightly weird choice. We're going to give the will back that we just spent. And we'll bring the pain. That will do armor damage, but also if we draw other attacks, it will be useful. This guy we already brought to 5, so not so scary. We have good armor. Now I was thinking Luden could impale this guy, which would mean we could get some damage in on him without having to lower armor further. Trying to weaken this one as much as I can while skipping over its armor. Okay, that was kind of a calamity. I forgot about this guy. But I think once again, we're going to try to weaken the big one as much as we can. It's fine if Yrsa gets injured because she's not actually going to be in other, like, her stats don't matter that much. She's just doing this slag and burn effect. All right, this is the other scary one. It is 15, so this is going to do 3. Yeah, or 4. Wow. Khan could kill that, but I think he should hit this guy. I think he should hit this one. Because that 15 is really scary. I gotta lower it. So we can sunder this one. Use our biggest hitting move to do damage everywhere. Let's see how much it does. In fact, let's use all the will we have on this. Because the Khan's not going to last that long. 6 damage with armor. And we did a whole bunch to that with Impale. We brought it down to 3. That's great. And now Bercy, who cannot get through that one's armor. Alright, what if we go here and use Battering Ram to lower this guy? Oh, that won't push him back far enough. I thought it might push him through and then Battering Ram does an extra. But as is, I think we just gotta keep on focusing on lowering shield here. Alright, and they wasted a turn. That's great to see. This is clearly the problem here, so let's bring it down as much as we can. Probably gonna kill Yrsa here. It didn't. Maybe it did. Yeah, it did. No, it went for shield. That's wonderful. What's the threat? We can impale this guy and hope he kills himself, but I think we'd rather... Don't want to go here because I have to walk through coal. To take 1 damage. Do I actually care about 1 damage? Not really. We'll just impale this guy and hope he kills himself. It's guaranteed 1 damage. Brings him closer to going down. Alright, Hakon's armor's gone, so he's in trouble. If we could, with Yrsa, put Coal Slag and Burn here, hit both of these units, that would be great. I'm going to move her here, and hopefully, yeah, it looks like we can Slag and Burn a double hit square. That takes out the big one. Maugre's still going to survive this fight. Luden may not. Sundering Blow is still just our biggest output. Because strength damage +1, it does a break damage. Yeah, that's going to be our best option. We're just unloading whatever we can. Alright, Luden goes out here. Nope, Luden survives. Well done, Luden. Gris has 8 power. They have 7 shield. It's a shame we're not really overshooting that, but gotta try to take out this guy. I think it's worth blowing the horn twice to up this to 3. We have 2 exert, so I can't give another point. But lowering this guy to 4 makes him unable to kill Hakan here. Yeah, he has to go shield. And I think we've... I mean, Luden's going to go down in a second, but actually, I think we pretty comfortably beat this one. And I think we should be able to beat it with just Luden going down. Slag and Burn. I'll Slag and Burn behind it so that Maugre can run up to it on his next turn if need be. And now they can do strength damage, but not so much. And we can do strength damage, and we can unload the exertion we have, bring them down to 1. Now this guy will get a few turns. Oh, no, he didn't. Do we want to kill on Gris? I'm going to try to save that one for Hakan. It's not like we're in danger at this point. And yeah, we can finish with Maugre here. Oh, no, someone else did go down. Who went down? Gunnulf went down, yeah. I'd kind of like to give the final kill to Yrsa, but I don't think it matters. We'll go Hakan. He's a bit far away. Alright, Third War 1. We got a new item. Did we finally get a good item? Who can say? But, again, I like when games give you sort of optional challenge and you can live up to it. And the fights are so interesting to me. Very compelling stuff. Ooh, big renown. Alright, we're gonna, as soon as we can, we're gonna menu. Bodies blanket the area as though the snow itself had turned black and red. You walk between clusters of survivors, taking account of your warriors. Eventually, you cross paths with Maugre. This was a tough one, he says. Hope we don't face worse the further we go, but this could be a hint of things to come. You nod. Let's check out that village. The wounded are gathered, and you head towards what is left of the village ahead. But we want to enter camp. Because I want to look at my party. I want to level up, see my idol. Alright, let's look at the heroes. I really hope I get some item of interest sometimes this playthrough. I don't recognize this item's name, but that doesn't mean it's not good. There's a whole variety. Level 5. So we need to be max level to use it. +3 armor per rest, +1 strength, +2 aggro. That's quite interesting. If it was a boost to armor that didn't require resting, I would like it more. Because if you're drawing aggro, you don't have a ton of time to just be resting in the middle of the field. I don't think I like this, but it has real traits. If we ignore the +3 armor per rest, which is obviously a plus, but one I'm not excited about, +2 aggro, say we put that on Maugre and he used Bring the Pain, that could be really good. Maybe that is what I should be doing. It's definitely better than this thing, Haldan's Razor. Okay, so we're going to promote Maugre to level 5. And this, first of all, improves his ability. So Bring the Pain, he can now do a double boosted +2 to his break attack, and his Return the Favor effect is anyone who attacks him loses 1 point of armor for each strike. That will go up to +4 for things that attack him. And if he's drawing attacks, that's pretty useful. This is our last upgrade to him. I don't think he needs more exert than this. I think I'm just going to give him the strength. and he'll max out at 30 armor and strength, but nicely distributed with also 4 shield break. And I think actually with this, Maugre will be really good. I shouldn't focus on the armor back from resting, though it is nice to have it. But I should focus on, it gives a boost to strength, which is not huge, but it will draw aggro, and I can run him forward and bring the favor. If that's the choice, I probably want him to go first so I can make sure he is bring the favor up so that things who hit him take extra damage. Yeah. What's Hakan got again? Plus 20 dodge strength. We really have gotten crummy items, and they're even kind of high level items, so you'd think they'd have more potential to be good. But this last one, the Obsidian Bell, might be very good. This might really change how battles work for us, because it might mean that units like Gunnulf might get way better now, right? Because if Gunnulf isn't getting attacked near as much, Gunnulf is a much better unit. Right? There are some units that you want to see getting attacked and others you don't. You wander through the small village, where there had been the cacophony of battle before. Now an eerie silence hangs over the place. Bodies of dredge and villagers make a macabre path to houses that have been ripped apart as if by a tornado. Yrsa stops in her tracks. Hear that? She all but whispers. It sounds like crying. Soon you discover a trapdoor partially hidden by a carpet. We will be opening the hatch in honor of the TV show Lost. A woman's scream dies in her throat at the sight of Varl instead of Dredge. Men and women are huddled together. A baby cries on her mother's shoulder. They are clearly awed to see so many warriors. What do we do now, they ask. Probably better to go to Strand than stay here. I don't know that we want to send escorts with them, though I'm fine with losing some numbers, though that makes wars tougher. I think. We'll say go to Strand. We've cleared the way. They give you worrying looks, but eventually begin gathering their things. Think they'll make it, asks Maugre, doubt in his voice. You don't know, but trying has got to be better than starving to death in a pit. Maybe I should have sent people with them. Eirik watches. I almost feel guilty about this, he says. I know Strand. Even if they make it in one piece, the locals will tear them apart. Not literally, of course, but, well, maybe literally. I might join them. We don't actually use Eirik. I'm okay with Eirik leaving to help them. Then I will, he says. He throws on his pack and soon catches up to the refugees. We got some renown out of that. We don't need to rest. We have great morale. What do we got? Bale's Locket, +2 to will. Don't care. Airfang, +3 will per kill. I think we've already seen this, don't care. And I think we've also seen Obsidian Ring. Clearly the best of the options. It can be equipped at level 3, which is fairly cheap to get to. And it is +2 strength, which is very nice, right? Gunnulf at 17 strength, would be... We could get him up to 20, actually, if I actually leveled him up. But I think I don't care about any of these too much. And I'm really excited to see Maugre in combat now. And if the rest of the party just works way better if Maugre is drawing all the enemy fire. I think this could be a really good item for us. Not one of the game's great items, but an item that we can use quite effectively. You hear a shout echo on the wind, a standard Varl greeting. A caravan of Varl are heading your direction, probably a few hundred in total. You meet them halfway. Alright. Morale went down, but I think we're still at great, otherwise I would have liked to rest, because this is our caravan that has lots of supplies. Fasolt, a new character. You must be with Wagner. Was. Wagner didn't make it. You're serious? It's getting grim out here, but didn't expect that. You're flying the Schlid banner. What's happening? Isn't Ulfar in charge there? I'm Fasolt. Ulfar's still in Schlid, in case he needs to be. He sent me to meet Wagner. Well, you. We've seen nothing happening in Schlid yet. What do you mean? No dredge. They never came through Schlid. They're all pouring out of Ridgehorn. We only just found out about it. Now, if I remember right, they thought that the dredge must have gotten through Fort Schlid. So this is useful information, that they're coming from somewhere we didn't think they were coming from. One group went that way. We came here. Ridgehorn, the fort on the bay, that place has been abandoned for hundreds of years. Yeah, maybe that's why they're there. By all accounts, it looks like another damned invasion. Ludin forces his way into the conversation. Wait a godless minute. What did you do? Careful now. You be careful. What did you start? You think men don't remember history? The long banner hangs in Arborang, the human capital. The Second Great War nearly screwed us all. What'd you do this time? Who the fan is this? You know what? Shut your mouth, Ludin, or I'll smash your face in. Ludin's head swivels in your direction, eyes wide. He seems uncertain whether to be insulted or threatened. What orders did Ulfar give you, Fasolt? I'm supposed to offer any support you need. I've got 330 Varl behind me, and Ulfar wants to know what's happening at Ridgehorn. What's your plan? We're going to Ridgehorn. I don't want to try to boot Ludin out of the party. I think, if he also leaves with Ursa, that's another character I like using. I wouldn't mind at all if Bercy left, but, I think we should go to Ridgehorn. I'll have my Varl fall in line. Yours to command, Hakan. Are you insane? You just said an army of dredge are pouring out of that fort. Go on to Grofheim then, Prince. Having your blood on my hands would be worse than doing nothing. This shuts Ludin up for a moment. You can see the battle raging in his head. He looks desperate for safety, but he didn't expect to flee like a coward. He expected you to come along. He glances at his men. We're already this far. This is the Varl's doing. I'll know of it, and so will my father. Besides, you need my help and my fighters. If I go, so do Yrsa and Bercy. Ludin's unexpected flip-flop catches you like a swift kick to the shins. Maugr can't contain a chuckle. Heh, the prince has courage. It's not quite what happened here, is it? I want to keep him. Do whatever you like, Ludin. Paint me the villain, Hakan. What do I care? I'm sick of you being the only one to do as he pleases in this alliance. These are Varl lands. We're facing an army of dredge. How much experience do you have in these matters? True, mankind has never provoked them into a war. You're going for a third. Is taunting the dredge into genocide a game for your kind? We're going to walk away. We're going to try to keep Ludin in the party. You curse and threaten pandemonium. The prince has chosen to be no responsibility of yours. If Ludin stays, so do Fasolt's warriors. They join the caravan. And Fasolt does. And Fasolt, as I recall, has quite interesting stats. So time to go into the party. Our party's getting quite big, though, so our supplies have gone down quite a lot. You know, they were at like 65, 70. Now they're down to 45. It has not been 20 days. But let's check our new hero collection. Because I think Fasolt has good stats. I might be remembering wrong. But yeah. So Maugr, you may remember, came as 1410. He comes as 1510, and I was excited about Maugr. Maugr maxes at 1814. Fasolt maxes at 1913. Not as good a breaker, but a really good wall. If we look at his abilities, he has Return the Favor, so anyone who attacks him takes armor damage. That's nice. And he can also force enemies to attack him on the next turn. I don't think this is that great an ability, but it can, if there's a huge threat, it can make sure it comes for him and his high armor, and we are going to be trying to get his armor to 19. So Fasolt, I think, is definitely in our party. It's Griss or Gunnulf who we're going to drop. I guess there's a case for dropping Ludin. I think we wanted... I think with everyone targeting Maugr, Gunnulf will be better than he was. Right? He'll be freer to stay near Maugr, have enemies distracted, keep up his high power. But 1212 seems to me just clearly better than 715. Yeah, we're going to move Fasolt in for Gunnulf. Two guys to go up, be big walls, take some shield damage. Yrsa can work well behind them. Ludin can do some damage to things that weren't shield hit. And then Hakan and Griss can hit pretty hard, especially Hakan. maybe we keep Gunnulf. I do like trying to make Gunnulf work. Like, he looks like he should be good with the 15 power, but his other stats are just so bad. No. Play it proper. We're gonna use Gris. Yeah. As I've said earlier, I like the human party more on the whole, but I'm starting to enjoy this party. And I really hope we get another war where I can hopefully show off how useful Maugre is now. Or some kind of battle soon. That's a nice showcase for him. Because if he's drawing aggro, everyone else is going to get to run around so well. The hike approaching the Godstone is murder. You recall how many Godstones were built on hills overlooking other Godstones so that travelers could follow them and find their way between cities. It does nothing to ease your pains. Dredge, shouts Maugre near the front of the caravan. Suddenly black rocks are whizzing past your head. What is this? What the hell is this, you shout? Maugre shakes his head. A stone slams into the shield of a nearby Varl, exploding in a flash of light and razor-sharp fragments. Get behind the shield bangers, shouts Maugre, as you approach for a fight. More war, 831 of them, but our army's much bigger too. I think we still clearly outnumber them. Yeah, nervous glance in the enemy ranks. We're charging. We're going into war again. War number 4 this chapter? This is nowhere near as frequent a mechanic in any other chapters. In fact, it is entirely possible it's the only chapter we see this mechanic, though I don't think that's true. Maybe I should have rested up. I didn't realize we'd be up so quickly, but Bercy's not very good. Injured Luden is not that big a problem. Injured Hakan is annoying. It's still 3 days till he heals. I guess it hasn't even been a full day since our last war. Okay, well, I guess we're running in with this. I could certainly level up like Yrsa, but her stats just don't have much potential. That's not really what she's doing her work with. I don't mind leaving her as is. Can't level up Fasolt yet. Can't level up Hakan. Maugre is maxed. Gotta remember Maugre is maxed because it means don't be trying to get Maugre kills. But I think Maugre is going to do incredible work this fight. Maybe he'll just run into the middle of the enemy and start resting. Because resting ups his armor. Maybe that will be useful. Oh, shoot. Okay. Enemy has range. They are now slingers. And they are basically all 9-ish power. So anyone with under 9 armor is going to have real trouble here. We want to be able to hit them fast and hard, lower their stuff. They also really like to move. So Impale will do really good work against them. Okay. I think I want Maugre to go this way and like everyone else to take out these 3. Because I think they can do that and hopefully Maugre will absorb these 3. Not sure. No, I want Maugre near where other units are. Right? Because Maugre will take the friendly fire. So I should keep these near this. Fasolt and Hakan can take out these with maybe some help from Gris. Yeah, I'm going to start like this. And I'm going to do what I can to lower their strength specifically. Because if we lower their strength, you're going to see something here. When they're hit, they automatically move away. And this is why... we're already in range of that one. Ugh. This is why it's going to be so useful to have Impale. If we can Impale anything, that's great. So we don't have that much power, so we just got to break some shields down. But Impale, when they automatically walk, means it will do kind of huge damage. Yrsa might just, like, die at the start here. That would be terrible. Alright. I'm going to go here, and then slag and burn this square. I think that's the max damage she can do here. But she's probably just going to get killed. Alright, 3 shield to a con is annoying, but not the end of the world. Alright, this guy's full. Let's see what Luden can do. I think this is Luden's time to shine. He does 1, he pushes back, and now they do an automatic runaway and take 3 more. Yeah, just huge result for him. Okay, we're happy for them to hit Fasolt. Ooh, now Hakan gets a hit. Let's go for this one. We can actually just bring it to 1. I think that's worth doing. Alright, that was just shield damage. Alright, you can't reach anyone useful. Is it worth taking out? Let's bring this to 1. That seems worth doing. Alright, Ursa goes down here, I guess. That's a bummer. Yeah. But not much to do. And we can now have Maugre do enough damage to this to make it hopefully not so big a threat. Yeah. Bring it down to 2. Oh, I totally missed this guy. There's another 8/8 on the field. We'll stay in range of stuff. This has lower shield and higher power, so I think worth hitting for 3. Fasolt, not hitting really hard right now, but that's not really why we need Fasolt. But it might make it a little tricky to get him kills. Alright, I was really hoping Maugre would draw more fire overall. But what do we want to hit here? Let's impale this one. Again, impale will push them back for 1, and then their automatic move away will do another bunch of damage to each. And we had impale on this guy as well. Good fight for Luden. Very good fight for showing off Luden. Alright, Hakan has quite a bit of power still. Still the same he started with, so can just take out something with 13 total. Alright. He's going to lose power soon because his shield's going down, but I don't think it's worth hitting either of those. I'm not trying to get him kills. Yeah, let's just move you up. Hopefully they go for Maugre here. They did. Nice. I could just rest. All of these are really low. Yeah, let's just rest. Maybe we'll... No, I gotta rest in place to get the will boost. Or to get the armor boost. And that will, yeah. If we get back there in a sec. Nice. Good dodge to strength damage. We have the item. It's back up to 18-13. Yeah, Maugre's gonna be great. Fasolt, let's move here so Hakan has access to do damage as well. And let's hit for strength, just make sure it's out of hurting us range. Oh, I forgot it would move after. That means we didn't actually need to get it down. Alright, and Maugre is drawing fire. It's just a little bit late. I wish that was lower. I don't want to move Luden into fire, or into danger. So I'm going to have him just go after this one. Not doing anything too relevant, but I was scared this guy would get in range of him. Alright, Hakan. Yeah, let's get this kill. I'm okay using a will point here. Alright, they keep going for Maugre. That's totally fine with us. Don't even want to attack anything here. I would like Fasolt to get the kill on this 8-1 guy. Alright, Hakan's getting a bit low. That's a shame. We'll move Maugre up. Just make him a target. Sadly, can't rest after doing that, so maybe that was the wrong choice. Okay, Fasolt, I want to get the kill over here, because I think he's worth upgrading. I really like my high armor guys. Let's get Luden this kill. Keep Luden far away from the enemy that still has high power. 90% is pretty likely. Please go for Maugre. Didn't go for Maugre. Ah, Hakan also very vulnerable. Okay. We can use Sundering Impact, do some decent damage here. 3 and 1. And moved him right into the zone where others can attack. Please go for Maugre. Nice. And let's finish this guy off, because Gris is actually basically untouched. And now everything left on the field is pretty low. And if they just go for Maugre, that's great for us. Yeah, Maugre, we're just going to rest. And hopefully they just keep throwing attacks at Maugre, and he's going to sit there healing it back up. And Fasolt can slowly approach. I should remember to use my will bonuses, but it's useless here. Right, we'll give Luden 1 kill. No, that's the kill that Fasolt was going to be able to reach, so we're just going to pass. Hopefully they go for Maugre again. Perfect. All right, Hakan, you can get a kill. We'll also give you a point so our horn isn't overdone. Keep going for Maugre. Perfect. No, I really want Fasolt to get this kill. And rest, that'll bring him back up to 14. This item's working out great. We'll go into pillage mode, and I'm going to try to feed Fasolt a few kills here. So Fasolt gets his first kill, and we'll soon get his second. We're just going to rest and max up for will for the second part of the war. Alright, who went down? Someone went down. Ursa went down. Hard to keep her up with all the throwing enemies, but we're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna go for the items. What do we got? More of the same. How many? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Are you at 1911? Jeez. Alright. So, what does Luden do best? Luden impales things. So we're going to immediately get on that. And it will drop down to at least 4, yeah. That's great because it went next. Alright, what's Hakan good for right now? It's 1911, can't reach anyone if Hakan moves far enough away. So I think we'll go here. Can't do all that much of use, but we get out of the way. At least a little. Oh, that enemy should have still been impaled, right? But I guess it wasn't. Weird. Sadly, can't reach anyone. They'll be able to reach us whatever we do. We'll kill this guy if we attack him, but we may as well lower his armor, right? Make it easier for someone else to finish later. Not trying to kill this because I want to leave low strength enemies on the field, of course. I did blockade Maugre being able to get to that guy, though. So, okay, we'll have to hit this one. And I think we'll go for 6. Because again, if we get stuff, you know, at that 3-4 level, it really stops being a threat to anything but armor. Fasolt, we do want to feed kills to. And we can feed a kill to Fasolt, so I'm going to do that. Even though I'd like to leave this on the field. I am planning to level it up. Alright, Hakan's in trouble. Yeah, Hakan down to 4. Can Luden reach anything? No. Shame. Alright, we're going to use some of the horn to bump Luden, but we can't actually reach anything. Hakan can, but does it matter? I guess we'll throw something to this 1911. We'll try to get in a little damage with Sundering Impact. That should do 1 to... Maybe we'll get 3 total damage. Yeah, I'll take it. It's the best we're going to get out of Hakan right now. Bercy could do 2 shield to this, and it will probably go after Hakan. And it can't really hurt it. It's down to 9. Okay. So, not battering ram. Just want to attack, break. It's going to go for Maugre. Perfect. If I go at this guy, I'll take shield damage. I don't really want to. I'm just going to sit here and heal my my shield. Oh, they didn't kill Hakan. They did shield damage. Alright, Fasolt could get a kill, but not really worth it. I'm going to move Fasolt here just to be a little closer to the bottom of the screen, maybe, if that's ever relevant. And I'm going to try to get this down. Ooh, it walked onto coals. That's great. Hakon's still somehow alive. And I think we'll impale this because impale just does a lot more damage when they're forced to run away. So even though it's the weaker target overall, it has the next turn, and impale will hurt it more. And if it moves more, it almost killed itself. It went down to 1. How is Hakon still alive? Should we try to keep Hakon alive? No, I think we'd rather he falls, because then we won't lose turns on him a bunch. And if we need him in good shape for the next battle, we can just rest for 3 days. We have the supplies to do it. These are still full. Didn't realize what good shape they were in. But we can do 5 with Gris. Gris is good. Gris is a good Varl. And we can do it to the one that had the next turn in the turn order. Fasolt, very steady, much like Maugre. We don't want Maugre getting kills, but they might keep attacking Maugre if we stay here, so let's just heal up our armor, and hopefully they'll keep being attracted to him. Yeah, because he has draw aggro. That's very nice. Okay, we have 10 power. We can finish off this guy. Get Fasolt more kills. I do think Fasolt's a very good unit. Alright, Hakon finally goes down. And I guess we'll finish this. This will be like 90%. No, it's 100%. Sweet. Please go for Maugre. There you go. Perfect. So yeah, I think Maugre is pretty great right now. Bring you to 3. The only threat on the field, 15-7, but with the 7, it's probably not that big a threat even now. You know what? Let's just max our armor again. So maybe just walking up and resting is a great strategy. They can't really beat it. We'll finish off this one. Feeding Fasolt lots of kills this fight, but again, I think Fasolt, you know, Maugre's an 18-14 and Maugre's great. Fasolt's a 19-13. That's even better for kind of pure defensive value. And just drawing so much fire on Maugre. We could get a similar thing on Fasolt. No one else in my party would ever be hit again. What's our special on Gris? Battering Ram? Can't really push it through enemies. Okay, so let's just break you more. And Maugre continues to draw fire. And we'll just rest because that's what we do. Gris finally starting to take some hits. I think we're still in feed Fasolt kills mode. And it's still in attack Maugre mode. And with this kill, we can go... Oh, maybe I shouldn't have... we're good enough. Okay. I thought maybe I needed to approach to use Impale to kill it, but this gets us into pillage mode. And I think we'll also feed the last kill to Fasolt because that's what we're doing. We'll level up Fasolt quite a lot. Like, we can't feed it to a con. I don't care that much about feeding Ludin kills. I like using Ludin, but the way we use him is mostly not stat-based. Horse score. Don't recognize that item either, but as we saw with this last item, just because I don't recognize it doesn't mean it isn't very good. Again, mostly a gameplay chapter, because we're just... This is the war chapter of the game. No other chapter will really look like this. Story will ramp up in the next chapter. This is kind of the pure gameplay chapter as a kind of middle-ish point in the game. And then it's gonna ramp up story-wise, as well as some gameplay stuff. I wanted to camp, but we have scenes first. What in the depths are these, you wonder, looking at the unusual dredge-slingers? Nobody knows. Without warning, a deranged and half-dead slag stumbles out of brush, throwing itself upon the yaks attached to the treasure cart. Surprised Varl pull weapons, but not before the whole cart slides off slick rock in a sheer drop, stopped suddenly by a low growl. The enormous metal wagon dangles precariously off the cliff. From the end swings a confused yox, still tied to its reins. On top, the dredge hangs on tight. Keeping the whole thing from plummeting over the side is Gunnulf, one hand white-knuckling the cart, the other wrapped around a tree trunk. You know, I do think a weakness of this playthrough is I do know the results of a fair number of things. And it's hard for me to just pretend to not and then show the result or something. So I'm pretty sure if we try to hold on, Gunnulf dies here. Now, Gunnulf is no longer in our party. That wouldn't be the end of the world. But I like Gunnulf. He looks like a frog, you know? He's sort of our first Varl fighter. I think we're just going to tell him to let go. We're going to try to save Gunnulf. I don't remember, like, all the individual decisions, so I still might, get him killed. There's still questions in the air. But I think he matters more. My duty, he grunts. He doesn't budge. You wonder how much this responsibility defines his reason for living. The dredge has found some footing and is trying to clamber up over the cart. The tree creaks under the weight. Does seem we should knock the dredge off, but I really think we're supposed to let go, but knocking the dredge off feels right. Let's do that. Let's take a risk here. You come up with a fist-sized stone. It bounces off the dredge's hard armor with a thunk. Just as Ubin appears, huffing, the tree creaks under Gunnulf's grip, and Halt pulls from the ground. The whole collection of things suddenly disappear from sight. No, cries the old Varl. The cart plummets and flips over rocks along the way, tossing its contents across the snow in a shower of gold and gore. The yox and the dredge are torn to shreds. Gunnulf flies motionless, his limbs splayed at unnatural angles. So you really have to just every time choose, you gotta let go, or you're not gonna keep Gunnulf alive there. And, goodbye, poor frog. You were a good Varl. Following the shock of Gunnulf's death, you find yourself wondering. When I played the first time, Gunnulf died there. So this feels honest to my previous playthroughs. But obviously, if I was trying to optimize here, I would have been a little more careful there. Following the shock of Gunnulf's death, you find yourself wondering why that dredge went after the yox in the first place. Then you realize the bigger problem is the vast fortune now lying at the bottom of the cliff. I don't think there's any point. Like, maybe it's some renown points we could save. If they gather it and return to Strand, what good is that? I don't know how well we can honor the body. Though painful, you leave the scene behind. If you're lucky, you'll be able to come back for the gold later. Morale declined, minus 11 supplies, morale declined. Yeah, kind of a disaster. So we're going to rest here because, A, if the game decides to throw another war at us, maybe this time we'll finally be at full health, that we've done okay, and I like being at great morale, which somehow we still are. But also, let's look at our heroes and level up one last time for this, again, very war-filled episode. Chapter 3 is a gameplay chapter. What's our new item? +1 move, +10 dodge strength. What's this one? +3 will per rest. Alright. I guess that would help Fasolt. Let's get him to level 3. Move is, helpful. Not an amazing stat, but helpful. Dodge strength. Not huge on Fasolt. He's mostly armor, but, gives us something to do. Let's max his armor. And just make him a wall. At this point, maybe we should put... No, we can't put this on Fasolt because he's not level 5. So we'll give Fasolt more move. Do we want to give Hakan the move? I forgot what this does. 20% dodge strength. Yeah, maybe we put it on Hakan because he's much more the attacker. So he's But this just doesn't mean much for Fasolt. Alright, no, we'll keep this on the con. The percent to dodge stuff, I think, is one of the least interesting boosts in this game. I much prefer stuff that gives a permanent boost to a stat. Again, we're not getting the great item drops or anything, but that's okay. And I think we'll call it. I'm doing well in the wars. I feel good about that. I feel a little sad that I didn't double down and do the proper thing and save Gunnulf. He's a good frog. Not a very good unit, though. You know, I can't feel like too bad on gameplay purposes. But I also feel like if you don't care about your units, like you're not playing this game properly. But I thought I could probably get away with one move there that wasn't immediately trying to get him to let go. And you just can't. And there's going to be lots of points in this where, like, you know, you make a decision and the game goes, are you sure? And it'll give you a kind of halfway option. And you got to commit one way or the other. You might be wrong, but usually the halfway options are not going to be the way to go. And they're often going to feel like, okay, we'll get a little of both, take a little risk, but not too much, you know, not lose too much gold, that kind of thing. But those decisions aren't going to work well here. So let's call it.